Hello there and welcome to Face Off on Channels Television. I'm Neo Taibé. Now, there's been mounting pressure on the Independent National Electoral Commission to defer the Ondo State governorship polls scheduled for November the 26th by 3 weeks. This is to allow for more time to resolve the pending legal issues. Now, some might ask, what legal issues are there? Do these legal issues involve all the political parties, or is it simply because one political party can't seem to sort its own house out? Well, hold on. Businessman Jimoh Ibrahim of the Amodu Sheriff faction of the PDP was named by INEC on October the 28th as the PDP's candidate for the election on the strength of the judgment of Justice Okonabang of the Abuja Federal High Court as against Eyita Ojegede of the Ahmadu Makafi faction of the same party. The All Progressives Congress is urging INEC to ignore what it calls bizarre requests and go on with the elections as planned. Stop. Yes, stop. Okay, now the appeal court has come up with a judgment saying Jegede is the right candidate of the PDP. So, should there still be a postponement? Would the INEC heed to this request so that Jegede can find room to prepare himself for the elections just a couple of days down the line? Well, this is our conversation today, and I have two gentlemen in the studio to help us look at all of this, and incidentally, both of them happen to be lawyers. Okay, here we go. Benson Enikume, APC chieftain, member of the Publicity Committee, Akeredolu for Governor Ondo State. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure being here. Good evening.
Welcome. Yinka Oyeniji is a member of the People's Democratic Party and a legal practitioner as well. Thank you for coming.
Good evening. Should I say it's good to see you after such a long time?
Well, it's just temporary. Okay, so here we are. Opening statement in 10 seconds. Should INEC postpone the elections?
No basis for it, both in law and in fact, to postpone the election. The date has been fixed. There's no basis for it.
Thank you.
Oh, well, developments change day by day. It's changed today, it's changed this morning, changed yesterday, changed this afternoon. A postponement will be in order, actually.
All right. We'll take a moment and we'll come back to this conversation, but you can be a part of it. Our email addresses and our Twitter handles will be showing on your screen. Please tweet at us or send your comments. Keep it short and simple, straight to the point. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
Should immediately postpone the Ondo state elections. And we have reasons for saying that. For no reason, in the case of Edo State, they postpone elections. For no just cause, in the case of Rivers State, they have postponed elections. In the case of Ondo State, there are very good reasons why this election should be postponed. Number one is that they know that a major candidate, a major political party has issues regarding its candidacy for the election. That is the People's Democratic Party. It's a major party in this country, the largest party in this country. It has issue regarding its candidacy, a matter that was principally caused by INEC itself. Because INEC monitored the primaries that produced Jegede as the candidate of the PDP in Ondo State. They did not monitor the primary, the purported primary organized by the Amodu Sheriff Illegal Committee that produced Jimoh Ibrahim in faraway Ibadan.
We also take this opportunity to call on the relevant security agencies, the police, the DSSS, the NSCDC, etc., to immediately put pressure on INEC to shift the election date to a possible date after the court processes have been completed, but within the constitutional provisions to guarantee peaceful and healthy political environment for election.
By the grace of God, I said before now, that God willing, I will contest this election. God willing, I will win the election. Amen. I look forward to February next year. Again, I look forward to the elections that will take place in November. And I assure our people that will dedicate the service that we have to development of the state. Now, I believe for every man he must have a vision. At the end of the day, he must say thank you. In between his service, I intend to serve.
I want to say that this is a victory for justice, a victory for the rule of law, a victory to everything that is professional in terms of our legal practice. You will recall that a couple of days ago, I had cause to address you gentlemen of the press, and I was confident, and I think I was just being prophetic then, that God willing, in a matter of time, that justice will still prevail. Against the backdrop of all traumatic experiences that we had to contend with in the course of the judicial proceedings, one would naturally be frustrated and a bit unhappy. But the truth of it is that we just had no other alternative than to keep trudging on in the face of all untold hardships, all untold efforts being put in place to ensure that the justice of these matters was frustrated. But happily enough, as I did prophesy, God has made it possible for us to say today, justice has truly been done.
Welcome back. So, one party is having issues, and some people come together and say, hey, postpone the election. But there is a multi-party system, so would it take just one to cause a postponement? I understand INEC even came up to say it's only the courts that can postpone the election. So what is the situation now? Are we going to get another court case? Should INEC postpone this election? So, gentlemen, here we are. You want to ask the first question, or you want to ask the first question?
The truth of the matter is that we are not a banana republic. We are a nation that is governed by law. In 2010, the Electoral Act was signed by the President. Some amendments have so far been made in the Electoral Act. But the areas that concern the election to the office of the governor and postponement of election, there are criteria laid down. I have come with a copy of the Electoral Act. Okay. If you look at Section 25, subsection 7 of the Electoral Act, it provides, an election to the office of the governor of a state shall be held on a date to be appointed by the Independent National Electoral Commission in accordance with the Constitution and this Act. Sub 8, an election to the office of the governor of a state shall be held on a date not earlier than 150 days and not later than 30 days before the expiration of the term of office of the last holder of that office. Simply put, once INEC announces a date in which an election is to be held, that date becomes sacrosanct. But what condition must happen for that particular date so announced to be shifted? Section 26 provides for it. Under Section 26, subsection 1, where a date has been appointed for the holding of an election, and there is reason to believe that a serious breach, please underline, not just a breach, a serious breach of the peace is likely to occur if the election is proceeded with on that date, or it is impossible to conduct the elections as a result of natural disasters. Please note, natural disasters. And 3, or other emergencies. The commission may postpone the election and shall, in respect of that area or areas concerned, appoint another date for the holding of the postponed election, provided that such reason for the postponement is cogent and verifiable. Conditions laid down are this: for the election to be postponed on a date already so named, the following condition must arise. There must be serious breach of the peace that is about to occur. 2, there must be some natural disaster, such as Holocaust occurring, or a kind of earthquake, things that will make it impossible for human beings to exist in that locality. Or thirdly, or other emergencies, such as war, that has engulfed the entire place. Now, these are the conditions that must occur, not sentiment as to whether one political party has internal crisis within itself. It's not part of the conditions.
Okay, hold on. Staying with those conditions. That the first condition says, believe. Hold on. I want to read exactly how you put it. Where is that?
It said there is a reason to believe that
there is a reason to believe that there will be a serious breach of peace.
Of peace.
You think there's no reason to believe that now?
The person to believe that there's a serious breach of the peace is the individual conducting the election.
INEC.
And that belief must be cogent and verifiable.
Okay.
So it is not enough for them to say we believe. You must have a serious belief that a serious breach to determine not just a breach, so a squabble between...
So you think a major political party not having its candidate properly represented in an election is not enough to cause a breach of peace?
The something is this. You know, this is a race. It's a game. If you are to run a race, a relay race, I've done that before. If you have to run a relay race, while you are speeding, all of a sudden you hit yourself, your leg against a stone, and you fall down. Will you call the umpire to come and say, cancel this race because I have gotten injury? So if PDP has injury within its internal fold, they will therefore tell us, say, APC, please, let's cancel it. AD and all other political parties, because one political party has injury. Now, if that be the case, it also means that the other political party can also organize crisis among themselves and then come up and say, we also have injury. So please do that for us. I mean, that's unreasonable. So the law is specific as to what conditions precedent that must take place. And it is the law. We can't do otherwise. It's not that my party has issue among themselves. If a man and a woman quarrels among themselves, they can't say the priest to cancel marriagehood. So it's their own wahala.